my channel. Welcome back to another video. I'm Jessie and you're watching. Welcome to my November TBR. I cannot believe I was literally about to say that the world is almost over. While that is accurate, I feel like the world has been slowly ending all year. I meant to say the year. I cannot believe that the year is almost over, and let's be honest.
Thank goodness for that.
I am actually super pumped for the last 2 months of the year. These are the months where I'm going to be trying to aggressively meet my reading goals and cram in as many books as possible. And I love that. I love pressuring myself. I work really well under pressure. I read really well under pressure. I'm looking forward to it. Before we get into the video, I have to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Book of the Month. Book of the Month is a reading subscription box where every month they scour the globe and find the hottest books on the market, books that everybody is really excited about, and they offer a selection of those books, varying genres. You can find thrillers, contemporary literature, just so many wonderful books that are relevant and that readers are excited about across the globe. I love that over the summer they have become hyper committed to ensuring that their book selections are ethnically diverse, which y'all know is so important. So every single month there is a selection of 5 books to choose from, and what Book of the Month does is offer exclusive Book of the Month editions of hardcover books for the price of a paperback book. I appreciate that they do that because I am rarely able to afford buying a hardcover copy. That is one of my favorite things about the subscription box. And the November selections are as follows. We have the Star-Crossed Sisters of Tuscany, which promises to be a very cozy but very magical fantasy-infused story about 2 sisters who have been subjected to a centuries-old curse. But both cursed sisters are bewildered when their great aunt summons them and says that she will break the curse that has been inflicted on them if the 2 sisters are willing to escort her to Italy, to their homeland, on her 80th birthday so that she can reconnect with the love of her life. We have This Time Next Year, which has been getting a lot of buzz. And in this book, we are following a man and a woman who were born on the same day in 1990. And although the 2 of them come from different worlds, they are about to collide in an epic love story. Then we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I am so excited about this book. This book is set in 1926 and I am so freaking excited because it centers Shanghai, it centers flappers and gangsters and that era of history that so many of us are very enthralled with, and it also features a dark and seductive romance. I'm extremely excited about Memorial by the brilliant author Brian Washington. This book is following 2 individuals, 2 men who are a couple,
Although they're not really sure why they're still together.
One of them is a Black daycare teacher and the other is a Japanese American chef. When the Japanese American character has to go to Japan, his mother ends up staying and moving in with his boyfriend, the daycare teacher, and it leads to kind of this awkward, hilarious exchange between the 2 of them. I have been on a thriller kick lately, so I am very excited about Pretty Little Wife. I mean, just look at this cover. This college town has been racked by student disappearances, and Lila, the protagonist of our story, is the last person to have seen her husband, who is also mysteriously disappeared. Now, all we know about Lila is that she is concealing a dark past, or rather that she's got some secrets up her sleeve. And in this small town, no one is certain who can be trusted. So those are the books for November, and if you want to sign up for Book of the Month, just use the code SAYBOOK and you can get your very first book for only $9.99. That is a great steal because y'all know that hardcover books do not sell for $9.99. So if you are interested in signing up for the Book of the Month, now is the perfect time to do so. All right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into the November TBR. Now, this is exciting because this is going to be my last and final TBR with my original Jessie's deck of TBR cards. So each card has artwork and then a reading prompt that is associated with that artwork. Now, how I play this game...
Where's my tray of dice?
Oh, it's behind me. And essentially, I will roll 1 or 2 die, and the dice will tell me how many books how many cards to pull out from this stack. The cards won't arrive for another week or two, but I can show you the card cases that have officially come in the mail. So this is the first time that I'm going to be revealing them on camera, and this is going to be the final case for the deck of TBR. I'm so excited. I absolutely love how these cases came out. The very last time that I will be playing with the original deck, the deck that I came up with. So what I've done is I've pulled out a bunch of the cards that you've already seen. I believe you've already seen all of these cards if you've been watching these videos as they've come out. I pulled out the cards that have been really redundant, as well as the challenge cards that involve me going out into public and doing things that I can't do because of COVID. These are the cards that we're going to be working with here, and I'm going to pull out my trusty purple dice. Since this is my last time using this deck, my original deck, I'm gonna be rolling 2 dice. Lately, I've just been rolling 1, but let's send this deck off with a bang. So without further ado, let's see how many cards I have to pull. So I have rolled the dice. Okay, so I've got a 4 and a 2, which means I have to pull 6 cards. That is not bad. I can do 6 cards. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, actually I'm just gonna face these towards you guys. So, okay, I'm not gonna look. I'm shuffling poorly because of who I am as a person, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't know why I literally said blah, blah, blah. It makes no sense at all. Somebody make it make sense. Okay. All right. So that was my beautiful, really professional shuffling. Okay. Let's pull out 1 card, 2 card, 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards, 6 cards. Okay. Putting these, I'm just gonna drop them right there. Okay, so now for my 6 cards. All right. And the first card. This is the Seance card. Resurrect a book from the dead. Read a backlist title that few people still talk about. This I can do. Backlist title that few people still talk about. I'll be right back. All right, I have decided to resurrect Dark Places by Gillian Flynn from the dead. This book looks like it came out in 2009, and while Gillian Flynn is a very popular thriller author, I haven't read any of her books. The most talked about are definitely Sharp Objects and Gone Girl, but I don't really hear people continuing to talk about Dark Places, and I have no idea what this book is about, so let's find out. Libby Day was 7 when her mother and 2 sisters were murdered in the Satan sacrifice of Kankakee, Kansas.
Dang, that's rough.
She survived and famously testified that her 15-year-old brother Ben was the killer. The unimaginable truth emerges, and Libby finds herself right back where she started, on the run from a killer. I had no idea. Yes, okay, yes. This is so exciting, and also I love this imagery right here. Yes, please. Okay, let's go for the next card. Lost in Space. Read a book set in space with a Black protagonist. I already know what I'm gonna pick for this. For this prompt, I'm going to read The Space Between Worlds. I was supposed to read this last month and I didn't, so it's perfect that I pulled this card for this month. This is about a world where a man named Adam has unlocked the eccentricities of the universe, and basically what that means is that people are able to access alternate realities. Our protagonist wants to access her alternate realities, and she finds that out of the, I believe there's 380 realities where she exists, that she's been killed off in all but I think 8 of them. Yeah, she's dead in all but 8 of them. So she begins to kind of explore these realities and is trying to figure out who is killing her off. And this is supposed to be a really epic space book. I've heard so many fantastic things about this book, and I'm so excited to get to it. I just wasn't able to get to it last month, unfortunately, but this is gonna be its month, and you may or may not see a Black Girl Magic vlog for this book. Maybe. Okay, I have 4 cards left. Let's go with this one. This is the Ancient Ruins card. Read a book that has been on your TBR for the longest period of time. I already know what book that this is gonna be. Please do not roast me when you see this book. You're gonna be able to tell that this has been on my TBR for the longest period of time, given the condition of the book. Where is it? It should be... I don't even have to reach very far for it. And that is Android Karenina. I have had this book since like my first year of high school, maybe even middle school. Look how this is from the Quirk Classics, where they take classics and revamp them with sci-fi or horror elements. And I started this when I was like 13 years old and never finished it. And I'm actually really excited. There's some pretty dope illustrations in here. And of course, this is a retelling of the classic Anna Karenina, which was by Leo Tolstoy. And essentially, Anna Karenina in this book is Android Karenina. So we're still set in 19th century Russia, but the world is humming with high-powered Groznium engines where debutantes dance the 3D waltz in midair. Mechanical wolves charge into battle alongside brave young soldiers, and robots, miraculously beloved robots, are the faithful companions of everyone who's anyone. Last three cards. Let's go with this one. This is the When Do We Start card. Start a new series. New series. This is good because I am getting back into reading epic adult fantasy series, and I think that this is the perfect month to start that. So my adult fantasy shelf is up there. I'll be right back. Yes, I'm wearing sweatpants under my outfit. You know, I only look good from the top up on camera, okay? But you can't make me change out of my sweats. There's nothing you can do about them. Make a decision, Jessie. Make a decision. Make a decision. Okay. Okay. Shoot. I've been putting this book off for a really long time, and I need to get to it. This is The Curse of Kalayan by Lois McMaster Bujold, which is actually a local author. And the reason why I'm super excited about this is because out of every adult fantasy book I've ever seen reviewed on Goodreads, this has the most reviews with the highest overall star rating. This book has something like 300,000 reviews, and it's got like a 4.9 star rating. Like, it's insane how well this book is rated. And that's specifically the reason why I want to give it a try. So I know that this is a series, and I know that this is book 1 in the series. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to turn off the camera and make sure that this is a series. Okay. It is a series. A man broken in body and spirit, just how I like my men. We are following a man named Kazaril. When he is named secretary tutor to one of the noble household's children, he is forced to then return to the household and serve the people who once put him in chains. But he is absolutely committed to protecting his royal charge. However, if he has any hope of succeeding, he has to employ the deepest, darkest, and most brutal forces of magic and become a tool of the miraculous. 2 cards left. Let's go with the leftmost card. This is the twinning card. I pulled this really early on in the year. Read a book with a cover that matches your current outfit. Okay, so I am wearing a lot of white. I have a bow tie that's got books on it in black. So white, black, and anything that has books on the cover. A book with books on the cover. That's like book cannibalism. All right, I think that The Relentless Moon matches really well, and this is the final book in the Lady Astronaut series. Actually, no, it's not the final book. There's gonna be a 4th book coming out. I've given the first 2 books in the series 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely loved them. In this book, this is a piece of historical science fiction. Earth has become uninhabitable, and humankind is in a race to colonize space and find a planet that is sustainable. So there's still a lot of those crappy racial sexism, earthly politics, as well as the human race as a whole literally being at stake. I loved the first 2 books. The science is really fantastic. The anxiety rep is wonderful. The racial and social commentary is just fantastic. And yeah, I'm really excited. I love the characters. I'm so excited to see where they go in this book. Now it's time for the last card, and that is the Woolly Mammoth card. Read a book that is over 500 pages long. I was really close to selecting Rage of Dragons because I know how many of y'all are reading it, but I ultimately decided to go with The Throne of the Five Winds because I've been putting off this book for a while. The Emperor's Palace, full of ambition and gossip, is a dangerous place to be, but it is especially dangerous for Yala, who is the lady-in-waiting charged with protecting the Princess Mahara. She and the Princess Mahara have been sold into the palace of the enemy as a way to broker a very tenuous peace. And it is all Yala can do to keep the two of them alive. But the Emperor is aging, as emperors are wont to do. Both Yala and the princess find themselves trapped between 6 princes and their dangerous schemes for power. Sold. I'm excited. It's the first in a series, and I haven't really seen anybody talk about it on BookTube, so here we go. Now, for the other books that I'm going to be reading, I'm going to be reading 2 books for the NB Book Club, the non-binary book club that I run. The first and the foremost book is going to be a memoir. This is a memoir from a lesbian two-spirit individual who talks at length about their struggle with alcoholism, gender identity, culture, etc. And I'm really, really excited to read this very powerful memoir. Now, we are also going to be reading Black Sun, which is Rebecca Roanhorse's latest. I'm super excited about this, and I've heard that this fantasy is absolutely amazing. It centers water, and it has a lot of non-binary inclusion in the world. And so because I've heard really fantastic things about the non-binary inclusion, I decided to make it a second optional pick for the NB Book Club. And I have the audiobook, so I'm really excited to be listening to the audiobook on behalf of Libro FM. Let's do a recap of the books that I am reading for the TBR cards and their prompts. For the Seance card, Resurrect a Book from the Dead, I am going to be reading Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. For the Lost in Space card, read a book with a Black protagonist set in space, I'm going to be reading The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. For the Ancient Ruins card, read a book that has been on your TBR for the longest, I'm going to be reading Android Karenina by Leo Tolstoy and Ben Winters. For the When Do We Start card, Start a New Series, I am going to be reading The Curse of Kalayan by Lois McMaster Bujold. For the Twinning card, read a book that matches your current outfit, I am going to be reading The Relentless Moon by Mary Robinette Kowal. And for the Woolly Mammoth card, read a book that is over 500 pages long, I am going to be reading Throne of the Five Winds by S.C. Emmett. So 6 books plus 2 books for the non-binary book club that I run, and potentially, tentatively, The Only Good Indians. If I'm able to get to it, that is a book that I also have on audio, and I'm really excited to that. I think that audiobook is also courtesy of Libro FM. So I have a lot of reading to do because 3 of these books are over 500 pages, and I'm really excited. So that is gonna do it for this video. If you are interested in having your own set of TBR cards, the final artwork is way cooler than the random images that I pulled from the internet when I made this deck. The link to pre-order is in the description box below, but there is absolutely no pressure to do so. Also, if you were one of those people who donated to the fundraiser for the TBR cards, forward me some sort of confirmation that you donated, and I will respond back with a discount code for when you do order a final deck, just as a way of saying thank you for donating to the fundraiser, because I really, really appreciate it. Also, if anybody has any questions about how I came up with the price of the cards and any information on the specs for the cards, the quality, the decks, like all of the logistic information for the cards, I made a video explaining all of that, and I will leave that link down below as well. And you also get to see more sneak peeks of the cards in that video too. Now, if you made it this far in the video, comment down below with the word monkey, or leave a monkey emoji in the comment section down below, because a lot of these books are chunky monkeys. Thank you so much for watching another Bow Ties and Books production. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love it if you became a part of my bookish family. All of my social media links are in the description box below. Until next time, stay safe, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.